CIFR Mining announces that it has closed a deal to acquire a new 300 megawatt data center in West Texas. We've got new analysts covering it today, giving it a whopping $6 price target. And as a result, we are seeing CIFR fly today. This is not the activity of a company for sale. So I am now getting much more interested in CIFR again, like I was before all that FUD came out about it in the past. We are also going to take a look at Solana as well as Bitcoin in this video. But before we get going, smash that like button, subscribe if you've been with us a while and haven't done so yet, and check out the Trade Cave store, link in the description as well as the channel bio. Let's get into this. So first of all, CIFR, this was yesterday, they announced that they closed a deal to acquire a 300 megawatt data center in West Texas. This is fantastic news for them. This is a big acquisition, a big increase in their access to megawatts to power. And honestly, this is not the types of actions you'd be seeing from a company that's up for sale. So I'm a little bit interested as to where a lot of that news was coming from in the past, which caused me to take my eyes off of CIFR. Perhaps that was strategic FUD and such. I did notice that in August, a lot of institutions started buying CIFR, and that piqued my interest about a week and a half ago for CIFR again. Seeing that the institutions were buying, institutions aren't going to be going and buying a failing company like that, at least not at that type of with that amount that they were buying it. So I was pretty interested there. Now this does increase CIFR's portfolio to more than 2.5 gigawatts of access to power across their 10 sites, making them a pretty sizable Bitcoin miner. This is what caused them to go up 15% yesterday. Today, they're up another 11.92, almost 12% off of this news here. And that news is, this is coming from Benzinga here, but you can see that Macquarie and Paul Golding, these analysts, have initiated coverage today, or no, not today, yesterday. Today's Wednesday. Initiated coverage of CIFR yesterday, late yesterday, with an outperform rating setting their target at $6, which was double from where it currently was at the time of that announcement. So that's pretty interesting. That's what's going on with that. Yeah, Northland Capital Markets analyst Mike Grandal, I guess, also Wednesday morning, so that's this morning, came out with an outperform rating for CIFR as well. So analysts are getting on board with CIFR. They just closed a big site for their company here. CIFR is looking great. Now let's look at the chart. This is beautiful. All right. Have you missed it? No, you haven't missed it. You're no longer necessarily early, but you really haven't missed anything. We're barely crossing the 21 EMA on the daily. We're barely crossing the 200 SMA on the daily. We are barely getting out of this downtrend right now on CIFR. So we're going to watch this thing. We're going to watch this thing close. So could you pile in here and probably get the majority of this run back up to $6, maybe even $7 or $8? Yeah, you could. Would I do that? No. And of course, none of this is financial advice or a suggestion to buy, sell, or hold any asset here on the Trade Cave. This is simply my opinion, my thoughts as I look at these charts. So no financial advice to be found here. This is a 3-day. Sorry, this is a 3-day. Oh wow, we are crossing over the 21 EMA on the 3-day and the 200 SMA on the 3-day. Why am I on a 3-day chart? I don't know, but I love this. This is a beautiful, beautiful candle. This is a breakout candle. Now let's see what's going on the daily. The daily, oh yes, this is perfect. Okay, so now let me rephrase what I said a second ago. We are barely crossing over the 21-day moving average on the daily. So we have crossed above that here, which we did yesterday, and we did a gap up today. What do we want to see here? I think some of you that have been with us a while know what I'm about to say right now, and that is a gap up and go sort of situation. We are gapping up and ready to go. Kind of like what we did back here, right? We gapped down and we went down further after a little bit of a give back. So the thing that I don't like here, we hit the 200-day moving average SMA at $4.07. We went slightly above that and got rejected. We do need to take that out. Once we take out that pink line here on the daily chart, the $4.07 mark, once we take that out and we get a candle that opens and closes above $4.07, I am looking at CIFR to go all the way back up real fast. Now, when can that happen? That can happen anytime soon. I mean, honestly, a lot of things are kicking off. I'm seeing a lot of altcoins going up a huge amount. I don't know if anyone is still watching Say SEI. I brought that to the channel many months ago when I was buying it at 80 cents and it dropped dramatically. It went as low as like 22 cents for a little while, but it has been coming back 20% at a time for days now. And I am almost whole again, actually. I'm pretty close to getting back to break even on Say. So Say, which is an altcoin, has been coming up significantly. Solana is coming up, not necessarily significantly, but it has been outperforming Bitcoin. We've been seeing things. XRP was coming back. Lots of altcoins are starting to show that they are on the move. So I am looking for this to happen soon. I'm looking for a move up soon or not at all. So soon or not at all. That's what I'm looking for on these things going into Q4. So above 407, we're doing a great job. As long as we're holding above $3.31 on CIFR, we are going to move into an uptrend. That is what I'm saying right now, right here on Trade Cave. As long as we stay above $3.31, we will continue on an uptrend. It will ignite and get burn even faster once we are above the 200-day moving average at $4.07. Okay, so as long as we're above 331, we're in that uptrend. We're in it. We are in it, and we are crawling up. As soon as we are confirming candles above the 200-day moving average, this thing is going to ignite and move even faster. So I'm very interested in this right now. I am looking for, since there is a bit of an ugly candle today, I will be looking for it to maybe come back to the 5-day moving average or go sideways until the 5-day moving average catches up with it. That might be a price target somewhere around 364, maybe 360 in the coming days. I will expect to see some sort of bounce off the 5-day moving average. If I do not see a bounce off the 5-day moving average, I will be looking for one off the 21-day moving average. Once that bounce occurs, I will be watching the $4.07 range or that pink line on my chart, which is the 200-day simple moving average. I'll be watching that very closely for a break. If we get a breakout above that, this thing is going to launch. Now, if you want to get even more risky on this one here, you can go to CIFRW. I have played this several times before. These are the warrants. These things take off immensely. That's up 28% today alone. I should have bought some yesterday at 78 cents. I'd already be absolutely crushing it on this one as well. This thing can run from 78 cents all the way down from like 70-ish cents all the way up to, last time it ran, it went up to $2.61. So even if I were to go in on it right now, there is more than $1 of upside on this thing in a quick fashion for the warrants. So take a look at the warrants. If you're looking at CIFR, these warrants are going to move even faster, even more explosively when that thing does take off. So I am watching these as well. I might actually go back into these before. I have played this from 80 cents up to $1.50 or so in the past multiple times. I may be looking at doing it again now, especially as soon as I see a cross up on this 200-day moving average. I might be looking at that for the warrants versus the shares themselves. But that's just me. None of this is financial advice or a suggestion to buy, sell, or hold any asset whatsoever. All right, let's take a look at Sol. All right, Solana. This is an altcoin. Some of you may have it, some of you don't. I have it. I have I have been slowly appreciating my share count here for this, my coin count, if you will. I have currently have 60. I have 60 Solana now. I've been accumulating between underneath $160. I have been accumulating one every like couple of weeks. I've been buying one. Okay, that's not like tons of Solana, but like it's a good amount of Solana. Anyways, what am I noticing on this chart right now? I'm very interested in some things in this chart right now. A couple of things actually. One thing that I'm noticing, one is that we are above the 21-day moving average on it. That's great. We're coming up on the 200-day moving average, which is at $155.19. We get above that 200-day moving average, conquer that. As soon as we're above that, we are looking at moving up to 162, which is our last level of resistance before we are opened up all the way up to about $200. Okay, that is amazing. That is great. Now, one thing I want to point out on this chart is we've been doing a lot of double bottoms over and over again, right? We had a double bottom right here back in April of 2024. We had a double bottom down here in June of 2024. Okay, all right. We've got something of a double bottom forming right here from in September. Right now, we're actually above that neckline right now, and we're actually into a bull flag after it. Now, something you may notice about these previous double bottoms on this chart is One, they do the bottom right, bottom, bull flag, launch. And then again in June, bottom, bull flag, launch. Now, what are we doing right now? We're doing bottom, bull flag, launch, perhaps. That's what I'm looking at Solana right now. And that launch is going to take us to, let me go ahead and let me just, hold on, let me clear the drawings. That launch could potentially take us to the bull flag. That launch could take us up to easily, back up to about $189 to $190. Very, very easily. One more thing I want to look at on Solana. Was it the 3-day or the weekly? Let me take a look. Let's look 3-day. Is it the 3-day? Well, one thing, let me turn off this real quick. On here is, this sure does look like a bull flag right there. It's a descending channel. It's nice and big. It's at the top of a range. That is looking like something of a bull flag. But let's get even more into this. Let's get even more into this. We're going to the weekly. We're going to the weekly. All right, weekly. Big old cup and handle. Big, big cup and handle. Well, one, we had this really weird head and shoulders with these tiny little arms, right? Tiny little arms, little T-Rex arms right there. Boom, boom. That already played out, right? That played out and it went like perfectly, right? Look at that. Ooh, perfectly. Look at that head and shoulders. All right. Now, that head and shoulders is playing into what I would like to look at as a giga cup, right? Big old cup. Big, big, big old cup right here, right? Cup. We're coming into a handle right there. We break the handle, which, let's go right about there. Boom. We break the handle, which we're at right now. We're at the handle at 156. We break the handle. Where's it going to go? Let's go ahead and draw on the chart where it might go. I'm going to have to zoom way out for this one. You're going to like this. You're going to like this. Stick with me for a second. All right. Bottom of the cup. Come up to the brim of the cup, about right there. We're looking at about $413 when that cup and handle plays out. And let me go to the SPY real quick and show you how powerful a big old cup and handle on the weekly can be. Let's go ahead. Scroll out on the SPY. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Here it is. I'm sure you all see it right now. If not, I'll draw it for you. We got our cup, handle, kind of made a bull flag at the brim there, and then just launch. And we're still launching. And if we go ahead and draw the thing I just drew with the ruler on the SPY, oh, would you look at that? Coming up to midpoint on the brim. Look at where the top is. The top is right where we are right now. So that's a little ominous. But let me draw it again where you can see it better. Okay. Take the ruler, go to the bottom of the cup, take the midpoint to the brim up here, midpoint to the brim. Just right there. Boom. Right. Look at where we are. Look where we are. Boom. That's where Solana's trying to go right now, which would make it a over $400 coin. Amazing. All right. Now let's take a look at Bitcoin. What's going on with Bitcoin? Very, very quickly, we're going to look at Bitcoin. Daily, making dojis at the top. I kind of don't like that necessarily, but let's take a look. All right. All right, we broke out. We are making something of a descending channel here, but we're holding the 5-day moving average. If we lose that today, I'm not going to be liking this so much necessarily. We might see a bit of a flash down to the 21 and then bounce back up. Potentially. I will be looking for that, but we are slowing down right here. We are losing our momentum. We are curling over. I don't like that whatsoever. But a couple of things that on the larger chart here that we like. Okay, so this one doesn't do that as much. Let's start out on the 3-day. Let's start out on the 3-day. I'm going to show you something I haven't shown you in a while. Okay, two things actually I haven't shown you in a while. Okay, I'm going to turn them both on right now. Okay, we've got one Gaussian channel. All right, we haven't looked at the Gaussian channel in a while. Look what we did. All right, on the 3-day, we came down to the bottom of the 3-day Gaussian channel. Now we're back above, making candles above the midpoint on the Gaussian channel. This is a little bull flag here on the 3-day Gaussian channel. Where does that bull flag, where's that going to take us? That's going to take us all the way up to the top of the Gaussian channel. Where's that at? That's at $69,000. Very good. Very nice. Very nice. Let's take a look back here. When was the last time we had something like that happen? Not that. All right, weekly. Let's go to the weekly. This is the other one I want to show you on the Gaussian channel, weekly. Look what happened last time. We had a bit of a flag, a descending channel into the top of the weekly Gaussian channel. Where was that? That was the last bull run. What happened? We had a descending channel that came off some highs and went into the top of the Gaussian channel. What happened after that? Launch time, baby. Well, how high did we go off of that? Let's see, from the bottom to the top, that was 138%. What would happen if we went to 138% now from the bottom of this? Let's take a look. I'm going to have to make this a lot bigger. There we go. Okay, bottom 138%. We are almost there. There it is. $116,000 if we do what we did last time. We came above the 1 week Gaussian channel, came back down and tapped it, and then launched off of it. So this is a launching pad right here. The top of the Gaussian channel, that's a launching pad. All right, let's turn off the Gaussian channel now. We're going to go look at the pi cycle top now. Let's bring up the pi cycle top, and this one we're just going to look at on the daily. So pi cycle top. Okay, we're going to go back to the daily. This is the last thing we're going to look at right now. Let me turn off some of these excess parts of the indicator that we don't want to look at. Okay, that didn't work. That's the one I wanted right there. Boom. I want my labels on price scale. Okay, there we go. All right, daily. Okay, bicycle top. This the fast moving average on this one has been curling down for a bit, but we have gotten above it. Look, we've gotten above it. We've got above the lower one here. We are creating something of a flag here. We might come back to test it at $61,700. So we could come down to $61,700 and test it there. We did a little inverted head and shoulders right here, starting late August, right? Inverted head and shoulders. That took us right up, back up to these highs here. We may come back to back test this down at $61,000, 61,700. And once we see there, if we see a bounce there, we're coming back up to about $69,000, $70,000, which would be the top of the Gaussian channel on the 3-day chart. Now, what are we looking for here? We're looking for it to come up to the top moving average. The top moving average right now is currently at $109,000. Okay, that's where it is right now. When we get above this thing in the bull run, when we get above this thing, and we do get above this thing every bull run, we get above that thing less and less, but we do get above it, and I do plan to get above it this time as well. When we get above it, how high above it do we get when we peak? Usually about, let's see, right there is where it was, and the peak was 35%. So the peak was 35% off the top of this green moving average here. What would happen if right now it'll be higher by the time it does this, so it's going to be even higher than what I'm about to say. But if we got 35% off the top of this thing right now, 35% off the top of this thing right now, look at that, $150,000. That's where the base case for the analysts is coming from. It's coming from off the top of this, 35% off the top of the larger moving average on the pi cycle top, which is what Bitcoin did last time. Now, I'm expecting maybe something closer to 140, maybe 130, maybe even 120. But when we do it, that is likely to happen. And we are poised right now to come out of this bull flag and absolutely launch into that, much like we did back here. Which is, would take us to $116,000 if we went from the bottom of our current bull flag to the same percentage move that came out of this descending channel back in 2021. So that's what we're looking at right now. Things are bullish. Things are looking great. On the daily, there's some minor issues that we're looking at that will get worked out. We could come as low as $61,700, and if we get a bounce there, we get a bounce at $61,700. If we get a bounce there, we are looking for a big explosive move up going into Q4. CIFR is already leading the charge on that with some great news. Sol, it's also looking amazing right now on its chart as well. Things are looking great. Stay in focus. I had a fantastic day today on the market. Things were so beautiful. It was such good trades happening this morning. I hope you all had a profitable day as well. So that's all I've got for you right now. Please smash that like button. Subscribe if you've been with us a while. Haven't done so yet. Share this video if you found it informative or entertaining. Check out the Trade Cave store. Link in the description as well as the channel bio, and have a profitable day.